Where was we at?
Well, I was asking about, whether they had known, what you had did as far as the lawsuit and as far as the performatory, and you was telling me that you didn't contact them.
And I don't get caught up. Uh, and to answer the question, no,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know nothing about none of that. And you know how you say you gotta be very careful about boasting and bragging in the chamber of the things that are no worth. So I'm very conscious of that. It's all about what I'm doing now. And I know they don't, what it is with them, they don't see it, and I'm in, how you say, financially
Right.
in stable condition to where they can see these allurements, the catches and, the churches and
Yeah, but, I mean, what you did was something that, like I said, it's something that's righteous, and that, uh, whenever you fight on, or you're on the side of God and making sure ones can worship the Creator, that is something that is, it's not that you're supposed to brag about, but it's something that's noteworthy, especially in the life of a person with what they do for the fellow man. Because, like I said, it didn't just it wasn't all about you. It's like I said, the whole state of Indiana was affected by this. So, that's our history. It's a historic demonstration, and I just think that for them, it helps give them pride in who they are, in understanding the legacy that they have. That my grandfather, my father, my husband, or my brother, or whatever it may be. He's not necessarily financially rich, but he's blessed with the wealth of wisdom and the wealth of blessedness by even being able to be the vessel and through which the Creator uses one to do something on such a great level, like on a mass level like that. Because it doesn't happen to everybody. Everybody's not
you say it like that. The only one that really recognizes that is my mother.
Really?
And yeah, she gives me a lot of recognition for where I've been, and she knows about the transformation.
Right.
And going from a child of 13, rebellious, and just out of, no, you ain't that dude no more. And she sees a lot of she knows about, but what she's standing on prohibits her from going any further into it.
Right.
So when I say they had to see it in order to be it, is understatement, because I think that they're looking at it from a tangible or from the European eyes.
Right.
We got it that.
Matter of fact.
But in hindsight, this episode here, where I pass form after this and it goes out there, want to get it drawn. But my assistant Grand Sheik spoke on that, and you hear you say it, I'm really picking up on how important this is. And I really hadn't, but like when I come home, where am I at? Where am I at? Where are we at right now?
You talking about this is
I'm just responding to what you just spoke on.
Right.
And like when I come home, me being faithful and grateful to Allah, I'll look for the first temple that I can find.
Right.
And as you know, as a matter of fact, I think it's where we made that connection.
Right.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
And it has been not a roller coaster. It's really been a life inspiring mission, because you've been ever faithful, and to you, I'm always grateful for how you carry yourself. And I've seen great transformation in yourself. But I never looked at it in the context. I think I said one time, well, Mo, if you gonna do it, you go on and do it. And I ain't much with that, and because I'm not. You know, as far as knowing what I'm setting something out for,
Right.
and for the world to understand, like my Moorish kin, how would I address the nation? I told my Moor, I ain't gonna call his name, when he was straddling the fence or in somebody else's yard, you know, I would always tell, well, stay in your own lane. You tend your own garden. And I think it's what Allah wants us to do, but He wants us to love each other. And that shouldn't be hard. I was looking at it in the lesson here, how to know thyself. And Swift Angel #1, he gives it to us like this. He says, in line with our subject, how to know thyself, the main objective is Maya. And that is to keep man from himself. Said the truth. Maya limits or conceals one from the attainment of his higher self, of man, and his author as one. She does this by making man sense he is lower than a reject from hell, a sinner, lower life slave, or a color. Maya is when Reverend Savior's soul says, you've been washed in the blood, born again, and now you have been saved. Yet the perfect fruition of God, of the God self, is not to be attained. Or one who is a Muslim, yet sees Allah outside and separate from himself. And this is the crux of our dilemma here, having grabbed a hold, as he called it, gospel plow, and not turning it loose, because once it grabs it, it's not so much that there's a threat there, it's a saying that you'll lose your way when you turn it loose, because you are subject to all those illusions, all the five folds that are coming to attack you, because you don't have the strength to hold on to this demonstration by yourself, because you just separated yourself from Allah. You're not looking at yourself as being one with Allah. No matter what one tell you, man, you and Allah and that, well, who are you? You the lower self. Get the ends and tell one. You got to be able to stand. And that really hit me some time ago when our Grand National Chairman sludge hammered that demonstration. He put it out and said, you God. And it's not saying it to be
boasters or not.
Boasters and bragging and saying the things that are no work. This is some work.
That's right.
Letting you know how valuable you are. You know, I thought you made in this image and after his likeness.
That's right.
You can't take that, not your father, not your earthly father, not your earthly mother. No, the one who sent you here. He know what you're supposed to look like, and he know what he wanted to form you in to be like. We just lose sight of the way because we get caught up in these discordant colors and things. And we get back into know thyself. That's what we should say every day. Know thyself. Know thyself. No, we do it in the chanting, in the ritual. You ain't got to go all down the street and let everybody on the street know this is what you're saying. You ain't even got to say that. You know, all you got to do is just hum it. Because you know exactly what you're saying. And the ones you singing it to or talking to know what you're talking about. It's got to be a constant communication, I'm saying, between you and yourself, your higher self. The lower self, you know, like I was telling one the other day, you know that one exists. So, you know, why are you thinking about it? The only thing about the lower self, you know, you've been exposed to him. See, he can't hide no more.
Mm-hmm.
See, you know who he is and what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
See, now don't nobody else on the planet Earth know that, but you know.
Right.
And that's how we got to proceed. If one is saying, well, I know the Lord self, but turn around and do something, you don't know the Lord self.
Right.
You just say it there, you see. But I ain't going to, accuse you. See what I'm saying? You might be doing it to test me. You know what I mean? You can talk about that little lantern that I'm flashing around here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my light's shining, you see.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm not shining, bragging and boasting of the attainment of things that don't know worth.
That's right.
I want to see the worth or the value of. So this is why my life journey thus far has been committed to the preservation of my people's lives and making sure that one, even if I can only grab one out of the multitude, that one is a ransom from the pearls of the Lord self.
Mm-hmm.
That is our mission. It ain't so much to put one in a position that you changing one's life. No. No, what you're doing is introducing ones to life. Because remember, we're supposed to be dead in the law.
That's right.
You know, Rome's supposed to have been done put the, you talking about hanging around carrying, like a prophet, I mean, the chairman called it man carrying a man on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, running around carrying a man, who you carrying on a stick? You know, it can't be nobody but the Lord self.
Right.
You know, why you carrying that one on a stick? It's like,
You better make a call.
no, man.
Make sure we get it back over here where we was at.
Yeah, that's his, and he's not the only one. They read, but they don't take heed.
Hmm.
See, you know, it's one thing to read a matter, and I tell them once, this demonstration here, to me, is like, it's a book of law. It's a law book. Because everything that's talked about it is in the Quran. And the Quran is a law book. This enhances what is being spoken and gives one a greater impression. Because you want to talk about the 6 children of Maya.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is. This one been rotating with this demonstration for some years now. But he don't see how the 6 children are his greatest foe.
Mm.
You know, because he's too busy chasing after the effects. You know, he's not looking at the cause. He goes way past the cause. Look at the effects of it. You see, I ain't miserable, you know, and probably done got beat up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of them put you out of houses, or they one of them been to 5 states, man.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last year, you know, I'm calling out of Arizona. Okay, Mo down in Arizona doing all right. I'm calling out of Nebraska. He down in Nebraska. I'm calling out of Wisconsin now.
Right.
I think that's where he's at now, Wisconsin. And I'm down here in Baltimore. The road's running up out of Baltimore.
What do you think about one thing I noticed the first time I went to, we went to minister in the prison was the silence. You know, it's a great silence when you go into those institutions, which, I think allows one that, it takes the noise of the world away and allows you to focus. I think, a lot of ones out here don't know how to handle the noise. They don't know how to go into that silent place. And without that, how, this lesson is so, it's infinite is the thing. And so it's infinite. And, I just see that a lot of ones, they don't know how to silence all that noise. Like you said, get caught up in the noise, and next thing you know, you done lost your way. You done lost the law. You done stepped outside of that circle. And they miss the lesson in the literature because there's too many other things going on in mind.
Distraction.
Where I'm gonna stay, you know what I mean? How I'm gonna eat, you know, what my girl doing, all you know. Like you said, in the institution, the distractions ain't there. You already know you're gonna eat every day. You know where you're gonna be at, and you know Jody got your girl. You know you see being concerned about her. You know what I mean? Because you know it's gonna be a long time coming before you even can even handle that type of situation. And I think that's that part of the reason why we need those, as the chairman says, intensive centers.
Remember, that's what the what was it? The program we had established, wanted to open up down here. And to answer the question, you definitely need a place where you can be still.
Right.
That's the whole key, you know, where you're forced to look inside yourself. You're forced to communicate with yourself. You ain't got nobody else to talk to.
Right.
You're gonna talk to yourself. What's gonna be so strange when they want to talk about you.
It's fun.
And you're gonna find out it's not a child. It's one there. That one there is awesome. And the whole key is him or her or it waiting on us to recognize their preeminence or their presence. You know, once we do that, and yeah, you do need a place of silence to go inside, and I think that may be what is needed on the conference call, because you can take one of the classes and just be still for about an hour. We don't want to hear nothing on the conference call. You want to call in, call back later on. Right now, it's a silence. Create the silent brotherhood. And maybe do that for about an hour. And then have one come back and give you a drawing off of it. You know, what do you get out of that? You know, but, well, I was thinking about my baby mama. I was thinking about my rent. And I kept hearing a lot of noise in the background and distractions. You know, you have to master the distractions. So when they say get somewhere and be still,
right,
that's what you're supposed to do. Everything that's going on, take note of it, let it go on past. You stop it at the gate. That's what the problem is. You obstructed, entry. Because if you are in tune that you got the cherubim and seraphim rotating, is guarding those gates, see, they're going to stop one from coming through there and be out of law anyway. See, but that one there that's coming seeking some assistance, they let cherubim handle that one there. All you got to do is say, well, the master's busy, because they're going to check it. Out at the gate, the master's busy. Get somewhere and sit down.
Right.
Anger, desire, hold up, wait a minute, And then, but see, then they're going to start to try to come in other little spots that won't. Remember we talked about the lesson, but one is undetected.
Yes.
They want to try to ease up in there.
Right.
And then they show you a flickering light. No, cherubim got that one too.
Right.
You ain't the real thing. Get on up out of here. But then you got to be able to tell them ones, the key component is to be still. You might have to say it continuously at first. Be still and know I am God. Be still and know I am God. And say it repetitively. Because you're telling the truth.
That's right.
And once this
There you go, something like, here you go.
Islam, Chairman, Bye.